Welcome back to Mercury Rising. This is Rachel, and I am here to talk to you about news and views from the Pacific Northwest. And this last weekend, I actually got to do a really fun thing. I got to drive all the way to Seattle, take a beautiful drive on actually the first really rainy night that we've had in quite a long time. I drove from Eugene to Seattle, well, first off to Tacoma, to see Cannell and Benji talking about their new book, YouTube Secrets. And I attended a workshop Saturday morning that was really great, packed with value, got to meet a lot of really fantastic people who are growing their YouTube channels up here in the Northwest, and so hopefully in the future, next few months, we'll be in contact with some of those people. I'd love to do, even if I can just figure out how to do like some Skype interviewing, some practice stuff, and help each other out with our channels, that would be great. So what I wanted to talk about was a little bit of my experience at the workshop, and also just like some things that I learned about networking while at this event. So for one, I have never really been in a professional position to be going to like large networking events. I've been to like church conferences and things like that where like pastors came from out of town to talk about the Bible, to give like sermons and things, and there'd be like several pastors. And I've been to big Amway events, but the thing about Amway is that like you have your specific upline, and so you're not really there to like network with the other people like across from you. So you might like meet people and things, but you're not like there specifically to like stay in touch with those people. So this was the first time that I was at like an industry event where it was important to me to like stay in touch with the people that I was meeting and like make a good impression and do possibly like future collaborations. And so I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I learned. The first and the biggest one is just be prepared. I've realized about myself, I get very anxious about things that I have to do, and so that anxiety turns into like putting it off. And obviously the longer you put something off, the more you actually have to worry about, and so the bigger of a worry it becomes, and so the harder it becomes to deal with. And so I did this about almost everything regarding this event, other than I did budget for it quite a while ago just to make sure that it was absolutely going to happen. But it took me a long time to double check and get back a hold of people about where I was staying. And so that was still like not completely decided even before I got to town, and everything worked out fine. But I just would have been so much more, I would have felt much better going into the day of the event itself if I hadn't been so frazzled going into the night before. And that's one of the big keys I'm finding in life, is like if you want to have a good day, you gotta start with a good night's sleep and just like having a like pre-organized evening before your day. So that was a big one, is just like getting there late in the first place, which was just sort of a necessity because I had to wait for my partner to get off work and everything. But I mean, if I had been a little better prepared, more packed and things, could have left probably at least an hour earlier. And an hour into your night, when you're talking about a long drive like that, is a lot of time. So just being prepared for an event like this in the future is something I'm definitely going to be double and triple checking, that I know exactly what my plans are leading up to the event, because I definitely wanted to be there bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with my coffee first thing in the morning, like watching people walk in and things like that, and that did not happen. And that kind of comes into like number 2, which is sort of along those same lines, which is like know what you're going to wear at least the night before. When I packed for this, I knew I wasn't going to be up there for more than like one night and the next day, so I packed 2 outfits so that depending on the weather I could pick one or the other. And then I got there and I was like freaking out because I was already running late, and I sort of ended up wearing like the worst combination of the 2 outfits. And I mean, it wasn't that bad. I don't think so, but I would have felt much better going into the whole thing if I had an outfit that I felt confident in, because I could have just been more confident while I was walking up and talking to people and not felt like a silly person because I was wearing jeans and a dress. Plus there are pictures happening and things like that, so that would have made things a lot better. And then, really besides that, I think I have a lot to be grateful for. The whole event, it was beautiful. For one thing, Seattle is a beautiful city. We're up there on the 4th floor of this gorgeous, it's called the Surf Incubator in the Wells Fargo building. So that was really cool. And we had a great view. We could see the sound and everything. And I met some really amazing people. Jody, Audrey, Nikki, Raul. I will try and leave links to your guys' channels in the YouTube description so that people can follow and see who else is making videos up here in the Northwest. And definitely roll on over to Amazon or wherever. I'm sure that retailers will be carrying this book sooner or later. Number 1 in business, YouTube Secrets. Packed with value. I have already read most of the book in the Kindle version. However, I will be probably finishing reading the physical version because I hate staring at computer screens with a passion. And I read, I think the Kindle tells you the percent. I think it was 78% of the book I read on Kindle. And it was kind of nice because it's convenient and you can go in and you can highlight things and leave notes. So it's not like you're losing all of what you get out of a physical copy, because I like to carry a pencil and make notes in my physical copies of books. I like I have these things. I like to put little tabs in there in case there's actionable steps, or a lot of times chapters will have now that you've read this, go do this. And so I like to put tabs in there when I need to go back and do something. And you can kind of get that out of a Kindle. It's just the eyes and the screen thing. I can't stand it. That's why mostly when I study things on the internet, I like to find long form, like a classroom lecture style of 2 hours of somebody talking, because I don't actually have to physically watch the screen the whole time. I can listen to them for a lot of that and give my eyes a rest. So personally, I would say go for the physical copy, but of course, whatever your preference is, it's available in almost all formats because the audiobook has been recorded. I'm probably gonna get the audiobook too, because I plan on listening to this while I do my deliveries and my driving. So there you go. Buy the book. Do it. If you're building a YouTube channel. If you're just here because you love the Pacific Northwest, maybe you don't need this book. But if you are also a YouTuber, or if you've ever considered being a YouTuber, working on a YouTube channel, definitely jump in on Sean Cannell and Benji Travis's YouTube Secrets. I love meeting them. By the way, I have to also say I got my SIGs in here, signatures, and they are really genuinely nice people. I got the opportunity to ask a question, which was specifically about my other channel, which is my health channel, Ultra Human. And my question was, when you are trying to present yourself, you want people to listen to you and to take you seriously, but you are also, in my case, I am not a doctor. I am not here to give anyone medical advice, but I can talk to them about what I have researched myself and what I have experienced myself and what I am going through. So just how do you present yourself with some level of reasonable authority while you're on this journey? And they said definitely to make it personal, let people know what you're going through and where you've come from, where you've been, and where you're going with them. Bring them sort of on that journey with you. So I want to try and do some more vloggy style videos on my other channel, where I can show people so this is how I'm adapting my, for example, my morning routines or my night routines, or what I wanted to do coming up into the fall. I have a video series right now I'm doing about seasonal affective disorder, and so I wanted to maybe like help like bring people through like what is it I'm doing step by step throughout this transition into the winter that's helping me get prepared and helping me cope with those things. So those are some of the concrete like advice I got while I was there. So I will have links to my other channel, to the video influencers channels, and to some of the folks that I met here in Seattle, as well as to the YouTube Strategies book. So I love you all. Hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you soon. And thank you for being here.